Freedom of speech on college campuses is under the spotlight once again, and this time it's about who gets to march in the University of Missouri's homecoming parade. But here's where it gets controversial. A student group critical of Israel's actions in Gaza was initially barred from participating, sparking a legal battle that raises important questions about free expression and university policies. Columbia Mo, KMIZ. On Friday, a federal judge delivered a significant ruling that the University of Missouri, UM, must allow the student organization Students for Justice in Palestine, MSJP, to take part in the upcoming homecoming parade scheduled for September 27th. However, this participation comes with a catch. They must adhere strictly to the university's parade guidelines. Judge Stephen Bow, presiding over the Western District Federal Court in Missouri, issued a preliminary injunction compelling UM System President Mun Choi to permit NSJP's involvement in the parade next Saturday, provided their entry aligns with the established parade policy. This policy outlines the parade's purpose as a celebration of the university, a way to strengthen alumni ties, recognize university-selected achievements, and rally support for the Missouri Tigers football team as they face the University of Massachusetts. The policy explicitly states that the parade is not an open platform for any topic participants wish to express, but is limited to themes identified by the university for the purposes mentioned above. It also emphasizes that students have plenty of other venues to voice their opinions on issues important to them. Judge Bow opened his order with a powerful quote from Benjamin Franklin. "Without freedom of thought, there can be no such thing as wisdom, and no such thing as public liberty without freedom of speech." This sets the tone for the court's stance on the matter. The Council on American Islamic Relations, CAIR, representing NSJP, filed the lawsuit after the group's parade application was rejected for the second consecutive year. President Choi justified the denial by citing disturbances linked to the group, according to documents obtained by ABC 17 News. Ahmad Kaki, a staff attorney with CAIR who represented MSJP, expressed that the student group is willing to comply with any rules that are applied fairly and equally to all participants. He described the university's refusal as disheartening, especially since MSJP's exclusion was based on the political messages they have expressed in the past, messages critical of Israel and supportive of Palestinian rights. Judge Bow sided with MSJP's argument that entries in the homecoming parade constitute private speech, rather than speech representing the university as a government entity. He found sufficient evidence to suggest there is a fair chance that President Choi violated the group's First Amendment rights by excluding them based on their views about the Gaza conflict. The judge pointed out that in 2024, no other student organizations were required to attend special meetings to discuss their parade intentions, nor were they asked to alter their messages. This selective treatment raised concerns about viewpoint discrimination. Adding complexity to the case, the former president of MSJP was charged this week with fourth-degree assault related to an incident on campus in March. The university cited this as another reason for denying the group's parade entry. However, Kaki argued that this point was irrelevant in court, especially since the former president testified she would not be present at the parade, undermining the university's justification. CAIR's National Deputy Director, Edward Mitchell, hailed the ruling as a major victory for the First Amendment and for students advocating Palestinian human rights. He emphasized that it's high time universities nationwide stop silencing students who criticize the Israeli government's actions in Gaza, which some describe as genocidal. The University of Missouri declined to comment on the ongoing litigation, but stated it is reviewing the court's decision, consistent with its usual practice. Judge Baugh also noted that MSJP intended to display signs during the parade that were not part of their original application, including slogans like "Ceasefire Now" and "Stop the Genocide." Moving forward, the group will collaborate with the NU Alumni Association to ensure full compliance with parade rules. Kaki expressed hope that the university will engage in meaningful dialogue with the students to guarantee their rights are respected. He added that if the university enforces a rule prohibiting messages on banners, and this rule is applied equally to all groups, MSJP is prepared to follow it. The executive director of the Alumni Association, Todd McCubbin, did not respond to requests for comment. This case raises a provocative question. Should universities strictly control the messages allowed in official events like homecoming parades? Or should they embrace a broader spectrum of student expression, even when it involves contentious political issues? What do you think? Is the university's parade policy a reasonable way to maintain focus and unity, or does it unfairly silence important voices? Share your thoughts below and join the conversation.